What up, everybody? Welcome back to Jayfabe Wrestling, and we are again continuing the rebooking of all the SummerSlams. This time we're looking at SummerSlam 2013. Took place on August 18, 2013 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Let's get into the card right now. So on the pre-show, we got RVD defeating Dean Ambrose by disqualification. It was for the United States Championship. And in the opener, we got Bray Wyatt defeating Kane in a Ring of Fire match. Then we got Cody Rhodes defeating Damian Sandow. And then for the World Heavyweight Championship, we have Alberto Del Rio defeating Christian. Then we have Natalya defeating Brie Bella. Brock Lesnar defeats CM Punk in a no disqualification match. Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn defeat Big E and AJ Lee in a mixed tag team match. Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship, and that was Triple H was the referee. And then Randy Orton cashed in and defeated Randy Orton to win the WWE Championship. So yeah, guys, this is obviously one of the highly regarded SummerSlams. We have two 5-star matches with Daniel Bryan versus Cena, Punk versus Lesnar, and the cool moment of Randy cashing in, aligning himself with Triple H, forming the Authority. And then we have a really solid World Heavyweight Championship match, too, in the middle of the card with Alberto Del Rio and Christian. And, some cool notable things here was Bray Wyatt. This was his pay-per-view debut. This was like Cody Rhodes' first pay-per-view after turning face in a while. Dolph and Big E, their feud was kind of going on right now. So yeah, there's definitely some cool things here. And as great as the three matches were, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Punk, Lesnar, and the WWE Championship match, I do feel the undercard is a little bit underwhelming. Bray Wyatt, putting him against Kane, that's kind of a tough match for his first pay-per-view match. And yeah, the women's match, I don't think we needed that match there. And then, yeah, even with Dolph, I feel like they really dropped the ball with him. He should have still probably been in the main event scene. So, yeah, there's definitely a few things I'm going to switch around, but I think it was a really solid card overall. So, yeah, let's get into my card right now. All right, the first match I have would be for the Divas Championship. I have AJ Lee defending against Natalya. And the build would be simple. Natalya is on Total Divas, so AJ Lee could be bashing Total Divas and saying what happened to, the women's wrestling. Everything is all about reality TV, drama, relationships, what happened about the wrestling, and she can cut that promo where she dissed all the Total Divas. And yeah, Natalya can come out and say, just because I'm on Total Divas doesn't mean, I'm not bringing the wrestling. You must forget who I am and where I came from. And yeah, AJ Lee can slap Natalya in the face and run. And she says it doesn't matter where you came from. You're tarnishing your family's legacy. And yeah, Natalya can make the challenge. She says she's going to show AJ Lee that you can be a diva, but you can also still be the Divas champion and the best wrestler. And yeah, I think that'd be really solid feud there. And this is a match I believe we never got on pay-per-view. Both divas have great submission holds. And yeah, I would actually have AJ Lee get the clean win. She can reverse the sharpshooter and then find a way to lock in the Black Widow. And yeah, she retains her belt. But yeah, I think it'll be a really solid women's match. All right, next up we have Cody Rhodes versus Damian Sandow. So yeah, this match did happen on the card, and I still have it on the card. And yeah, pretty much keep everything the same. The only difference I would have is Cody Rhodes would win the Money in the Bank instead of Damian Sandow. And then the next week, Cody says, I hope there's no hard feelings. It was every man for himself. Sandow says, yeah, it's all good. And then they can have a tag match against the Shield. And yeah, Cody's about to tag in Damian, but Damian walks out and the Shield triple powerbomb Cody Rhodes through the announce table. Yeah, then Sandow can cut a promo saying he tried to teach Cody Rhodes to be intellectual and smart, but, his genes, he's a son of a plumber, and he can never be as smart as Damian Sandow. And yeah, Cody Rhodes can get pissed and try to attack Sandow. Sandow could run away. And Cody says, I want you at SummerSlam. And Sandow says, I'm a smart guy. I won't fight you for nothing. You should put your Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. And Cody accepts, and Sandow says, see, I told you you weren't as smart as me. And yeah, again, good feud here. fun match, and Cody Rhodes would win and still retain his Money in the Bank briefcase. All right, next up we got The Shield versus The Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane. This would be a 6-man tag team match, and yeah, again, this would be a very simple feud here. The Shield can say, this is their yard, we're the big dogs, and then the Big Show could come out and the Shield can attack them, put them through the announce table, and then they do the same thing next week. And then Mark Henry comes out, they put him through the announce table, and then the next week again, Kane tries to come out and they do the same thing, put him through the announce table. So 3 weeks in a row, the Shield dominate 3 giants in the WWE, and then the Shield could come out again the next week. Big Show comes out, Mark Henry comes out, and Kane comes out, and they clean house, and they make the challenge to the Shield 6-man tag match. They say, you've been running roughshod through WWE, so the 3 biggest and most dominant men here are going to stop you and show that, they're going to put a crack in that Shield. And yeah, so a pretty simple build here. And I would give the Shield the win. They could probably pin Mark Henry after a triple powerbomb. And yeah, I think, again, this would be a good match. The Shield were not on the card, so I think this is a nice way to get them on the card. All right, next up we got for the Intercontinental Championship, we got Curtis Axel versus Captain Charisma Christian. So yeah, simple build here again. Curtis Axel can say he's the greatest IC champ of all time, and that no one in the past can lace his boots, and that he's even surpassed Mr. Perfect. So yeah, get some good heat here. And then Christian will come out and say, last time I checked, I was a former IC champ, and last time I checked, I don't think you're better than me, Captain Charisma. Then he could challenge Curtis Axel to a match, and Curtis Axel says no. And then the next week, Curtis Axel could be cutting a promo saying the reason he declined Christian's offer because he knows that he's way better than Christian and doesn't want to waste his time. Christian can come out again, and then he can say, it's ironic, your father, he had a lot of charisma, and it sure didn't pass to you. I feel like I'm more of Mr. Perfect's son than you. Curtis Axel can get so pissed and say, you know what? You're on at SummerSlam. And then he could try to attack Christian. Christian could duck, go for the kill switch, but Axel could push him off and run away. And yeah, that's pretty much the feud here. And I would actually give Curtis Axel the win just because we're trying to establish him. And also, he's not with Paul Heyman in my booking. He's just Mr. Perfect's son. So yeah, I think this would be a really solid mid-card match with Axel getting the win. All right, next up, we got the United States Championship match. I have Alberto Del Rio versus Big E. So a few things to change here is going into WrestleMania 29, Del Rio defeated Swagger, and he was the U.S. champ. So he's still babyface here, and he could challenge Dolph Ziggler on Raw, and Big E can interfere and attack him. And then, yeah, Dolph pushes Big E. He says, you know what? I got gold. AJ's got gold. Big E, you need some gold too. And let's get that U.S. championship off this Mexican, Alberto Del Rio. And yeah, we can have Big E attack Ricardo in the build to get some sympathy. And yeah, I think it'll be a really good match. And again, we're trying to establish the new stars. I would definitely give Big E the win. He can overpower the armbar and then hit the big ending 1, 2, 3 clean victory. And yeah, this would again eventually Del Rio would turn heel again because he couldn't get the job done. And yeah, this will build more tension with Big E and Dolph Ziggler down the line for sure. All right, next up we got Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. Yeah, Wade Barrett. So yeah, Randy would win Money in the Bank, and he's saying he's gonna cash in. Wade Barrett could come out and say, you know what, Randy? Let's be real. You're not the same Randy as before. So he's kind of pushing Randy's buttons and saying like, you don't have that killer instinct anymore. Like what happened to the Viper that I faced in 2010. And yeah, he tells Randy like, give me an RKO to prove it. And then Randy, he doesn't give him the RKO. And yeah, Wade Barrett says, look, I was right. Randy ain't the same. But then when he turns around, Randy hits him with the RKO. And yeah, Wade Barrett says, you know what, Randy? I want you at SummerSlam to prove that you are not the same Randy as before. And yeah, Randy accepts and says, you know what, he wants to focus on the WWE Championship, but in the meantime, he can kick his ass at SummerSlam. So yeah, just a nice solid mid card match here. And I would actually give Randy the clean win. And he's like full on babyface, so obviously later in the night we're not expecting whatever happens. So yeah, really solid mid card match with Randy getting the win. All right, next up we got Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. So a few things that change here is Ryback is not heel, and he wins the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules after The Undertaker relinquishes it. And yeah, he has a good run with it. He fights John Cena at Money in the Bank, and then Bray Wyatt can interfere and cost Ryback the title against John Cena. And yeah, Ryback is pissed. And yeah, Bray Wyatt, that was his debut. And he says, you know, people think they're strong. People say, feed me more. Well, I'm giving you the whole meal. And he says, do you remember the Nexus? And he says how he used to be Husky Harris, and that Ryback used to be Skip Sheffield, and Skip Sheffield used to bully him because he was husky, and that Skip had all the muscles, and that, you know, he says revenge is coming full circle. So that would be the premise of the feud. And yeah, Bray Wyatt would be playing a lot of mind games. Ryback would try to come out and attack Bray, and then, you know, Harper and Rowan would jump in, and Ryback would get jumped by the Wyatt family a couple times. But Ryback can maybe do something where Bray, the lights go out, and then Ryback is right behind him, and he tries to attack Bray, but Bray runs away. So yeah, just do that little cat and mouse feud here. And yeah, I think this would be a good match, better debut for Bray Wyatt. And yeah, you got to give him the win. Harper and Rowan are too much distraction, and Ray gets the sister Abigail 1, 2, 3. I think it'll be a really solid match. All right, next up we got CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. And yeah, again, guys, this would be a really good match here. And I would actually have CM Punk fight Dolph Ziggler at Money in the Bank. He's trying to get that World Heavyweight Championship. Paul Heyman's by his side. And then there's some shenanigans with the referee. And then Heyman hits Punk with the chair and, yeah, costs him the World Heavyweight Championship. And then they can have the same feud from there, where Heyman says, you know, Punk used to be his best friend, and he also used to be the best in the world, but now he has the new best in the world. He's the beast, Brock Lesnar. And yeah, they could just cut some good promos on each other like they did. A couple great brawls here and there. Punk can try to get his hands on Heyman, but Lesnar would intercept, hit him with the F5. Punk would get up and say, Al, you got. So yeah, just a lot of strong feud here with Paul Heyman saying, you know, Punk let him down by losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and that, you know, he thought he aligned with the best, but he is not the best, and Brock Lesnar is the best, and he's going to show him at SummerSlam. And yeah, this match will also be no DQ. And the same match. It was a really great match, classic match. It's a shame they only fought once, but yeah, it was an awesome match. And keep everything the same, and you got to give Brock Lesnar the win here. All right, next match we have for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Dolph Ziggler versus the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam. So yeah, Ziggler can be bragging that he's the greatest world champion of all time. He is exciting. And then RVD could come out and say, yeah, you're pretty cool, man, but you never beat RVD. And then RVD would win a number one contenders tournament. And yeah, the build would be simple. Ziggler says that, you know, he surpassed RVD. RVD used to be the man, but he's the show off now. He's the one that people want to see. He's the one that people want to cheer for. And RVD says, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. And then, yeah, you can have Big E attack RVD, and then RVD can fight Big E. He could defeat him as well to gain some momentum. And, yeah, Ziggler's getting pissed, and Ziggler could try to jump RVD, but RVD can, you know, dodge it. Ziggler could try to use a chair. RVD hits the Van Daminator. just to build up the feud that RVD is, on Dolph's level. And yeah, these guys will have a great match. I think two great workers, and yeah, I'd have RVD go for the 5-star. He kind of gets distracted by Biggie, and then he misses it, and then Dolph can hit the zigzag 1, 2, 3. Dolph retains, and yeah, I think this would be a really great World Heavyweight Championship match. All right, next up we have the main event, the WWE Championship. We got John Cena versus Daniel Bryan, and yeah, just keep everything the same here. I love that John Cena chose Daniel Bryan as his opponent, and then obviously Vince McMahon says Daniel Bryan is he's not WWE Championship material, so he pretends that he's about to get a haircut and get a makeover, and he attacks Wade Barrett, who was his barber. So that was funny, and then obviously the very memorable promo between the two, where Daniel Bryan says that in Japan that he would slap his opponent out of respect, but he doesn't respect John Cena. And yeah, Cena can be like, he defeated The Rock, he defeated CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan was like, you're acting like they're better than me. So yeah, that was a really intense promo. And of course, Triple H, he became special referee, and definitely need that part. And the match was really good. It was really a great match. Followed CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. John Cena came in with like a notable elbow injury, and it was also when Daniel Bryan debuted the running knee. So I thought that was a really nice ending, surprise ending, and really great match. One of the best matches in SummerSlam history. And yes, Daniel Bryan wins the WWE Championship. And then, of course, you hear the I hear voices in my head. Randy comes out. He teases the cash in. Bryan says, let's get it on. Randy turns around. Triple H gets Daniel Bryan the pedigree. Randy cashes in. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, this was, again, this moment I feel like got tainted just because of how WWE booked Daniel Bryan's redemption arc. But it was still a very cool moment, a really gut-wrenching moment. And yeah, this is one of those moments where like you got really invested into seeing Daniel Bryan want to regain his belt. Obviously, WWE botched it, but they kind of fixed it at WrestleMania 30. But yeah, this was definitely the start of, the Daniel Bryan story, and you got to keep it. Triple H finally turns heel after a while. Same with Randy. They're aligned with the authorities. So yeah, very cool moment to end the show for sure. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think of my card. I believe I improved the card. Of course, you have to keep Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk, Randy Orton cashing in, and John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. You got to keep those 3 moments, and I kept them. And yeah, again, first off, I feel like the Divas match I have, Natalya versus AJ, would be better than Natalya versus Brie. And yeah, it also gets rid of the mixed tag match, which wasn't that good. And yeah, these 2 women can work, so I thought it was good. Keep Cody, Damian the same, but a little higher stakes. And yeah, Cody has the money in the bank, so that'd be cool. And then we have the Shield on the card. The Shield were actually not on the card. Even Dean Ambrose, he was on the pre-show, so I feel like having the Shield on the card makes a lot of sense. And then them going through the Giants, the Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane, just would be a nice win for the Shield, especially since they're about to align themselves with the authorities. So yeah, gives them a nice, credible win. And then for the IC Championship, the IC title was not on the card as well. And yeah, Curtis Axel versus Christian, I thought this was better use of Christian. Just because I felt like the person I had in the world title match, he just returned, so he had a little bit more momentum. So, but still, this would be nice to have Christian on the card. And then the U.S. Championship, again, I felt like Del Rio, he was doing well as a face. We didn't really need to push him back into the main event picture. So him versus Big E would be good, with Big E finally getting his big win. And then Randy versus Wade Barrett. This is a nice match as well, just because Randy's not on the card. So yeah, this is kind of like his last match as a face, and because he fights on the show, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, he's probably not gonna cash in. So it does give that element of surprise. And then Bray Wyatt versus Ryback. Again, I felt like this would be a better match than Kane. And yeah, I thought they dropped the ball on Ryback. I thought he had a lot of face potential still. So again, him versus Bray would be good, and Bray getting a big win over Ryback. And then for the World Heavyweight Championship, I felt like RVD, he just returned, and yeah, I felt like Dolph, he should have stayed a face because. Sorry, he should have stayed a heel because when he turned face, it didn't really work out for him. So him versus RVD would be good. We got the returning veteran against the young champion. So yeah, I think that it would be just as good as Del Rio Christian, maybe even better. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Let me know what you guys think, if I improve the card or not. And yeah, I'll run down the card for you guys right now. All right, so for the Divas Championship, we have AJ Lee defending against Natalia. We have Cody Rhodes versus Damian Sandow with the Money in the Bank contract on the line. 6-man tag team match, The Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane versus The Shield. For the Intercontinental Championship, Curtis Axel defending against Christian. For the United States Championship, Alberto Del Rio defending against Big E. Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. In a no-holds-barred match, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Dolph Ziggler defending against Rob Van Dam. And for the WWE Championship, special guest referee Triple H, John Cena defending against Daniel Bryan. And then for the WWE Championship, Randy Orton cashes in against Daniel Bryan. So yeah, guys, that is my card. Again, let me know what you guys think. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.